Chemistry PBL. Table of contents. First we have the introduction and hypothesis. Second we have scientific background. Third we have materials and procedure. And fourth we have data analysis and conclusion. Introduction. This virus is transmitted when an infected individual releases droplets caused by sneezing or coughing or exhaling, and when these droplets come in contact with other individuals, it affects them as well, and causes them to suffer from the symptoms of this virus. The high occurrence of corona cases in such a speedy period of time caused all of us to undertake quarantine, distance ourselves, wear masks, gloves, and use sanitizer as often as possible. It is highly significant and urgent to interrupt the transmission chain of this virus through contact isolation and strict infection control tools and products. Following face masks, appropriate hand hygiene is of utmost importance, as hands may be contaminated from direct contact with any contaminated surface or even contaminated air. Hypothesis. We'll figure out how to keep the virus from spreading and strive to make sanitizers more effective and beneficial. To locate the most effective formulation, we'll try to figure out how to analyze the active ingredient structures, chemical percentages, and additives in sanitizers. We'll develop our better ways to keep our environment safe while stimulously saving lives.
Moving along, this is Nuth and I'm going to be discussing the scientific background of our project. The hand sanitizer, also known as the hand antiseptic or hand rub, is an agent that is applied to the hands in order to remove common pathogens. In most hand sanitizers, there's a percentage of either 60 or 70 of the main and only active ingredient, which is ethyl alcohol or ethanol alcohol. Not more than 96% of ethyl alcohol should be in hand sanitizer because otherwise it would be considered as toxic or not suitable for human use. Hand sanitizers are widely available in various forms, such as foam, gel, liquid, etc., etc. Alcohols and hand sanitizers destroy disease-causing agents or pathogens by breaking apart proteins, splitting cells into pieces, or messing with the cell's metabolism. Ethanol alcohol is infinitely soluble, as we can see from this diagram, and its chemical formula is C2H6O, as we can also see from its Lewis structure. It is colorless, flammable, and is what mainly contributes to the disinfection executed by the hand sanitizer. Crucial additives such as water act as a carrier for the ingredients and alcohols, and other additives like fragrances, glycerin, hydrogen peroxide, or emollients work to protect the skin from the alcohol's drying effects or to neutralize any acidic effects or to give the product the desired smell, color, texture.
I am Maryam and I'll be introducing the materials part. In my part, I mentioned the two different formulas used in making hand sanitizers, as well as comparing those two formulas to find which one would fit our need the best. Ethanol. Now, ethanol is used in most hand sanitizer as an alcohol base, and many researches showed that it's the preferred formula and specifically used at 60 to 80% alcohol. Isopropanol. Now, as I said, most popular brands used ethanol, while one of the current leading hand sanitizer brands, Cosmo, uses isopropanol as its alcohol for disinfecting, and most of their hand sanitizers range at 70% alcohol. Now, in this slide, I'll be comparing the two different types of alcohols that we use, starting with 50% ethanol alcohol. This formula was not effective at all since it had a 1-to-1 ratio between the alcohol and the rest of the ingredients. 70% alcohol. 70% ethanol alcohol can be the best, and the formula was not too dry on the hands and it would disinfect in a good way, but it did not help as much as we need during this pandemic. 80% alcohol. 80% alcohol could be too dry for some people, but we found that it disinfected in 27 seconds from applying, which was really good during this pandemic. Next formula is isopropanol. As most companies use 70% isopropanol alcohol, we decided to stick with that. 70% isopropanol alcohol could be effective in a good way since it is the suggested alcohol percentage for daily use hand sanitizers.
Hello, it's me Jude, and first I'm going to be discussing the procedure. In the procedure, we have 5 main steps: using our research data and asking experts, formulation, experimenting, and results. We have to seek professionals and frontline workers for accurate information in order to get it. We feel they have the most up-to-date information on everything going on, and they could definitely assist us in identifying the missing parts in hand sanitizers. Obviously, many hand sanitizer companies that we reached out to sadly did not respond. However, we did ask pharmacists that might have known a thing or two about our topic. Now for formulation. In this part, we use 2 formulas. Formula 1, which includes 80% ethanol, 1.45% glycerin, 0.125% hydrogen peroxide, 3.5% still water, and 15% aloe vera gel. For the second formula, we used 70% isopropanol, 0.15% glycerin, 0.125 hydrogen peroxide, and 30% of QS water. So we studied these 2 formulas and researched the sanitizer's active ingredients formula and percentage. Also additives to find the best formulation. So for example, in the first formula, we used aloe vera gel for moisturization to make sure that the user is satisfied with the outcome after using the hand sanitizer. So for our next step, we investigated with each formula using a test kit, testing them on a COVID-19 infected surface and determining which one was more efficient in diminishing the virus's potency and ability to spread and pollute other regions, or which one could entirely eradicate the virus if possible. So we all concluded that utilizing the first formula, which is ethanol, is more advantageous after conducting a lot of research and experimentation on the relevance of chemicals and sanitizers. Additionally, the use of particular ingredients will undoubtedly make the sanitizer a lot more user-friendly. A great example would be us adding aloe vera gel or organic ingredients. And to visualize how our sanitizer might look, we constructed a digital model. Thank you, and now we'll move on to Noor's part, which is the data analysis.
I'm Faris again, and I'm here to discuss the data analysis. After thorough experiments and evaluations were executed to fill this diagram, we can conclude from it that the concentration percentage of ethanol alcohol in a sanitizer has a directly proportional relationship with the reduction of the virus. As in, for example, the higher the percentage of ethanol present, the more effective the hand sanitizer is. And this can also be proven because when hand sanitizer is applied to contaminated area, the high concentration of alcohols like ethanol alcohol found in our new and improved formula of the hand sanitizer makes the hydrophobic effect found within the virus disappear, giving the molecules room to move around and causing the cell membrane of the virus to collapse and weaken. Next, we have this diagram that is also known as the flatten the curve diagram, which aims to flatten the curve, which suggests that with the consideration of protective measures such as applying a specially formulated hand sanitizer regularly, aka our hand sanitizer, we could work together as a society to eradicate this virus. In conclusion, after comparing different formulations, we have successfully finalized our new and improved hand sanitizer that highlights the benefits of ethanol alcohol to help slow the spread. Now, to reflect on what we've achieved from this experiment and project, I think that my teammates and I conducted a creative project and took an interesting approach to this issue. We might have faced some hardships along the way due to the lack of available studies done on this topic that could be used as resources of information to back up our findings, and due to our inability of physically experimenting with the ingredients and studying the chemical reactions from a first-hand point of view due to the unfortunate circumstances we're facing right now.
I'd like to believe that we conducted great research, the best we could at least. Due to our lack of information and the freshness of this disease, a couple of teenagers will hardly be able to find the right tools and measures for this problem. Also, not having any access to a lab put us at a disadvantage. Thank you for listening.